God, come to my assistance.
O Lord, make haste to help me.
Glory to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit.
As it was in the beginning, is now, and will be forever. Amen. Hallelujah.
My name is John Goodhue.
My name is Felipe Espericueta.
My name is Ryan Brady, and I'm from Connecticut.
I was born in Boulder, Colorado, moved around a bunch, and moved back to Colorado to teach Latin at a local high school.
I'm from Tempe, Arizona.
I knew I wanted to live in community, and I wanted that to mean more than just sharing a house together. And MHD was a place where I knew we would actually eat meals together and pray together every day, and all of that really attracted me to come here.
The commitment to prayer and also encouragement in being Catholic wherever you are in your life. And those are two things I've definitely found the Mission House Denver has accompanied really well.
It came up in this really providential way.
I think living at Mission House Denver has been wonderful in terms of having people to look up to and to be next to you and striving for holiness. And I get to see them do that every single day in all of the little things.
Loud sometimes, it would have a lot of stuff, always something going on. I think Mission House Denver was my experience of what we eventually started calling the interruptible life, which sounds like an annoying thing. It's like something you're supposed to avoid, but actually ended up being this, probably one of the best experiences of my life.
Yeah, if I had to sum up MHD in 2 words, wild, prayerful.
I'm trying to get past these words of challenging, rewarding. They're actually a lot more human than that. It would be a lot more like, I think about how much fun we've had. One of them is definitely honest. There's an honesty in being able to encounter somebody exactly as they are, first thing when they wake up in the morning for morning prayer, all the way to, if it's a household night, what are they like in learning how to cook and learning how to take care of things in the house and of each other. And there's an honesty there that is eventually so loving that I would say is the second word about life here. There's an honesty there, and there's also a love that I think is natural because of how we structure life here.
I would sum up my experience at Mission House Denver as a school of communion. Like when it was the 7 of us this past year, it was amazing. That's the school of communion. You actually get out, rounded out, all the rough edges, rounded out by this just being together. The whole Christian life is bent towards communion. So to be put in a situation where yeah, this is what community life is like. Perfect.
I think our mission, in my words, sounds like 2 things, but is actually 1 thing. It's taking men, bringing them together so that they can live out mission. Because the only way mission actually happens is when there's a community behind it. And I think that's precisely what Mission House Denver, at its best, exists to do.
I think it's to build up good men for the church, to give them an experience of community life, living with brothers. You're built up as brothers in community, and then you're sent out.
The regularity of the schedule, praying every day, having retreats kind of foisted upon you in a way you wouldn't necessarily seek out or be motivated to do so. Then also having a group of people around you to push you and to call you out on your things. So having a culture that sort of naturally does that.
Living and serving at Mission House Denver has encouraged me to have an attitude of living my faith full-time. I'm definitely experiencing a lot more of a courage about that. I realize, okay, I think I'm actually ready to do this. I feel like I'm so much more equipped than I was in the past. And it's because of the intentional living every day that then propels you into, okay, I think I want to do this for the rest of my life, even when I don't live with these guys.
I think Mission House Denver has supported my discernment. Maybe the biggest way would just be that I pray a lot here. And so to have that ability and that time scheduled in, even when I don't want it, affects your relationship with Jesus Christ and your ability to hear him speaking in your life. I would say another big way that living at Mission House Denver has helped my discernment, big V vocation, small V vocation, is living with a group of people who are also seeking after those things gives you a way to sort of mirror to yourself what a holy and a good life looks like and what real discernment looks like.
I never was interested in monastic life before, and there were definitely some very clear calls to at least look into it, so I did. And though I'm now trending in the direction of realizing that my state in life more likely will be marriage, there's a joy in that I didn't feel before, that I don't think I would have had if I didn't have life as intentionally lived as it is here at the house.
Yeah, how has MHD helped me to begin the discernment for religious life? I wouldn't have gotten there without MHD for sure. The community life has become a huge thing for me, and that's because of Mission House Denver. And if this is a religious path, it seems to me like my religious path is along the route of community. And I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't lived with 7 dudes.
One of the biggest gifts of living here has been the extended community of MHD. Moving to a place where I didn't really know everybody. And literally I moved in at midnight one night, and the next morning there's a group of people over for coffee who have become some of my closest friends.
Well, now that I live in a place where I'm like one of 2 dudes and we're never there at the same time, I am super bored. So, like having the wider community of the house, and yeah, like all these people that like would come to our events and hang out with us and like invite us to their things and all that kind of stuff. Like, I mean, that's like one of the best parts right there. Like you're joining MHE and you're like part of this like bigger thing.
Yeah, one of the coolest things about Mission House Denver is that even though it's a group of guys living here, there's sort of a natural outgrowth of that in terms of the friends and the outreach we do, which has turned into so many other things. Several retreats that happen every year, and then this year, basically just the community around Mission House Denver doing middle and high school ministry at a parish. I think that's incredible, and it's sort of the natural way things should happen. A group of Christians who live together, who share life together in certain ways, and that actually leads to the mission, that the mission comes out of the love people have for each other in the community.
Is this where I tell you about the Versati project?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you just pull that out of your pocket there? That was cute.
Oh, look what we have here.
The Versati project is middle and high school ministry done the way it should be done. It's youth ministry done in a way that will be a joy and a benefit to the lives of the people who are doing the ministry, and because of that, actually be able to be sustainable and take effect in the lives of the people who are being served over a long period of time. Unlike so many youth programs I've seen, instead of it being event-based, where one single coordinator has a few volunteers who help them put on an event, maybe even every week, will actually be a group of people working together to individually build relationships with individuals and disciple them.
When I first heard about the Versati project, that is going to be a way that we'll be living out how we live our culture here at home and also in the rest of the world, especially for young people, I was a little bit concerned, a little bit scared, because I thought, I feel like I found my niche in homeless ministry, and I don't know if that'll fit that well with my own particular repertoire skills, if you will. And in a lot of ways, the guys at Mission House Denver have shown me I can do a lot more through Christ than I thought was possible.
Yeah, I think there is a huge gap between the fact that there are so many young Catholic Denver adults who have the skills and the love for Christ to be involved in these things, and nevertheless a scarcity of good youth programs and a scarcity of good and consistent volunteers for that program. And I've been so delighted and impressed with the fact that when this Versati project, even just as a germinating idea, kind of came on the scene, in a pretty quick fashion, 20 people volunteered in a short span to do that. The leadership team is obviously a somewhat diverse group of people, but if I had to describe the leadership team in a word, it would be humble. I've been so impressed with the way that all these people are making sacrifices, not for any sort of glory or because they feel like they need to be doing this in their lives or they want to be seen as someone who's doing good, but because they actually just want to spend this time together serving the Lord and sharing the love that has already brought us together as a team with younger people in the community.
I would say bold, definitely bold. So it's been nice to be part of the team that's bold in saying, I have been changed by Jesus. Jesus has changed me into another person, so much so that I now live in a way that's for God, and God lives through me for others.
What is challenging about life and community at Mission House Denver? When people don't do their dishes, or when you have things you want to be doing with your time, and the ask of living at this place is to give more, to be involved with some sort of volunteer ministry that night, or even just to be home and be actually spending that time in community feels demanding and like it's impinging upon your freedom. I would also say that those are precisely the things that living community should do for you and should force you to do, and are the best parts of living at MHD.
Iron sharpens iron. And if you're going to take that seriously, living in community, then you're going to have an attitude of, I will lovingly challenge my brothers and allow them to do the same so that we are more confident wherever we live next. I wouldn't have that confidence if you didn't challenge me to say, hey man, here are some ways that I think you could lovingly confront someone and say, hey man, these are your dishes, or this is the situation, maybe a chore or something like that. In the past, I would have just been avoiding the confrontation entirely as much as I could, and then just developed passive aggression and resentment and all that. But life here has attacked that head on and said, you're called to be more.
Gosh, so many good memories of life here in community at MHD. Maybe one of the best memories actually would be the last night with the group of guys I live with. We're all here at the house and just staying up late, kind of rehashing the year and getting the chance to honor each other for all the things that had happened over the course of the year, and to realize the friendships that had grown out of that, the community around us that had kind of grown out of it, and all the things we'd had the chance to do together. It was a really amazing moment to recap everything.
But there are so many good memories here. I moved here in November, and it is September. It's not even a year yet, and I feel like I've been here for years in a really good way. I feel like I've actually had an abundant life. One of my favorite memories of living here at MHC was one night we had household night scheduled. Everything was hunky-dory, and the next thing I know, household night has been rearranged and rescheduled, and we went to Clear Creek, popped open some lawn chairs, and one of the guys lost his flip-flop going into the creek, and we brought along some takeout, and I just remember thinking, this is the life. Not because everything's great and it goes according to plan, but because in these spontaneous moments, I get to be fully alive, and I see that in everyone else that I'm around too.
I think the thing that sets Mission House Denver apart is precisely the thing that makes it hard. You could live with guys, you could live with a group of Catholic guys, and try to pray together and try to spend community time together. And probably you could live with one of those groups and have absolutely amazing community. I don't think you could live in a place that would be completely in the world, that is not a missionary program, and pushes you to be better as much as this place does.
I think what sets Mission House Denver apart is that, yeah, there's a structure that forces you to commit in a sense. A lot of us struggle to do good things without necessity. Obviously the goal is that you choose to do good things. But for most of us, we don't do the right things. We don't do good things. We don't actually leave ourselves unless we're forced to.
Things I miss about MHD. I miss waking up in the morning and praying with everybody. I still wake up in the morning and pray, and most days I'm doing that alone. I miss weekly dinners a lot, and just the way that ends up forming the community of people living together over the course of some months. I miss a lot as well so many of the random things that just spawn from MHD, retreats, and just moments where everybody hops in the car and goes somewhere, or visits a friend, or visits somebody in the hospital. Things like that I miss a lot.
I am so bored. What do I miss about MHD? Yeah, it actually is that. I miss the interruptible life. I miss the life that I was living where like, yeah, I want to sit down on the couch and just read on my own for the afternoon. And somebody would come in to the whole like kitchen, living room area and be like, oh, right, and just start talking to me. And I'd be like, oh gosh, it's happening again. But that was good. Like, it was good that stuff was always going on. It was good that you actually have to look for moments to be alone. That's better. Like, it was just fun. There's just always stuff happening. And now being not at MHD, yeah, I'm bored. So yeah, I think that's what I miss about MHD. I miss the interruptible life that wasn't about me.
I'm John Goodhue. Mission House Denver exists to build up men to live boldly the universal calls to holiness and mission. People always ask me, what is Mission House Denver? Let me show you.
Well, I'm off to Colorado. With urgency I go, seeking the answers to questions untold. Oh Lord, guide me surely, and fill my heart with song. Maybe up there in the mountains I will find home. So I'm off to Colorado, aching in my chest. Identity inside of me is shaking at best. Oh Lord, what's my purpose? What's my hurting for? Maybe up there in the mountains I will find more. We're all stories unfinished, and we die to find fitting words to write. I don't have better things to say than you, or better things to do than live and love you all as my own. Holding fast to Colorado, a picture in my head, steering my thinking before I've even left. Oh, how can I let go of what's inside my mind? Maybe up there in the mountains I will not know pride. Oh, we're all stories unfinished, and we die to find fitting words to write. I don't have better things to say than you, or better things to do than live and love you all as my own.
Here we have a wild Joseph tree here. When cornered, he may bite.
Unfinished, and we die to find fitting words to write. I don't have better things to say than you, better things I do to live and love you all as my own. So I'm here in Colorado. Peace does not run short. Living the freedom that I was made for. Yes, I am unfinished. Yes, I am not done.
Got it.
Still, it's up here in the mountains. I did find mine. Yes, it's up here in the mountains. I did find my home.
Hi, I'm John Goodhue.
Hi, I'm John Goodhue. Okay, I'm gonna make or miss a catch, do my bit, and then high five, and it's gonna freeze frame in the air, okay?
I'm John Goodhue. People always ask me, what is Mission House Denver? Let me show you.
Hi, I'm John Goodhue. People always ask me, What is Mission House Denver? What is going on? I don't know who these guys are. They're not Mission House Denver.
Is there anything that you learned while you're living here?
No.
Mission House Denver exists to build up men to live out the universal calls to holiness and mission.
No, we have to all.
Some of my favorite memories from living at Mission House Denver. I'm like drawing a blank. They interviewed us all for grad school to make like some promotional videos, and notably I'm not in like any of those videos. Just in case you were wondering.
Yeah, I'm not. I got that. That's alright, that's alright. I got that. Whoa, hang on.
Let me start that over. I can make that snappier. Wait, say the question again. Okay, I think I see. Here we go. In a way, what is this, what?
I'm John Goodhue. Oh. Cut!
Such a great question, Joe. That's a good question. That was a good question. I don't know. I got nothing. Honestly, I feel like that's what you asked me earlier, and I'm sure I'll think of something, but like, no. Sorry. Nothing funny happens here. Sorry, donors.
Cuts to like all this like footage of us doing cool things. That would actually be so sick. Wouldn't that be good? Yeah. And it's like mass at the house, like men's retreat.
Gentle, a gentle start, and then a crescendo to like young adult retreat where people are like jumping off stuff.
I'm John Goodhue. I'm John Goodhue. Mission House Denver exists to build up men to live boldly the universal calls to holiness and mission. People always ask me, what is Mission House Denver? Let me show you.
Yeah! I'm John Goodhue, and thank you to the donors who made this possible.
Awesome, man. I think we got it.
Sweet. Okay. Can't wait for this gala.